The purpose of this video is to show you word styles, which is a great tool for formatting documents. It helps create a uniform, consistent document, but it also helps screen readers. So if you have readers who are visually impaired and need a screen reader to read it to them, it captures those headings, subheadings, numbers, things like that, and helps differentiate that from the other text on the page. In this video, I'm going to show you how to insert headings and subheadings, page numbers, bullet points, images, and how to text wrap and then add captions to images. This is called Lorem Ipsum text, so forgive the typos on it. It's just like drop-in text so that I can demonstrate some of these things to you. So I'm going to create a document here about Galveston, and I'm going to add some headings and subheadings. So let's start off with one heading called Living in Galveston. And not Galveston College, it's auto-adding things to me. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight that text I just wrote, and then from the Home tab of Word here, over here, I'm going to select heading 1. And then below it, let's add another subheading, and let's call this Cost of Living. And again, I'm going to highlight that and say heading 1. Let's do some subheadings here, and I can show you how that looks. How about we talk about Galveston housing? And so I'm going to make that again a heading 1. And under the category of Galveston housing, maybe we have apartments and single family homes. Okay, so now I'm going to highlight apartments, and this time instead of selecting heading 1, I'm going to select heading 2, and same thing for single family homes, heading 2. Now here's where this kind of gets cool. When you go under View, right here, and then click the checkbox that says Navigation pane, here are those headings that I just created. And as you'll see, they're automatic hyperlinks to those spots in the text as well. So if you have a really long document, if you had like a 100-page document, this creates a nice, easy navigation built in. The other thing that Word Styles is going to help us do is insert tables of contents, which I'll show you later on. All right, next thing I wanted to show you how to do is page numbers. So here I'm going to go to Insert, and I'm going to select page numbers, which is right over here. Gives me a couple of different choices. In APA style, we want it at the bottom of the page. So let's go ahead and say bottom of the page, and I'm going to put it on the right-hand side. And I add it there, and it automatically goes in. And so you'll see here's page 1 and page 2. I'm not going to add anything to this. I'm just going to leave it alone and let it do the page numbers as it has automatically numbered there. The next thing I want to do is I want to insert a photo. And let's say we want to make sure we use photos that are legally obtained. And so when I'm operating in Word, I'm going to put a picture of a house in Galveston. So I'm going to go under Insert, and I'm going to select Online Pictures. And when I select the being, so let's just say beach house, it gives me some options here. I can choose Creative Commons only, which has automatically been the default. And so that means those are pictures that legally I'm allowed to use for distribution, especially in this case, it's non-commercial purposes, so I know I'm really safe. This kind of looks like a Galveston house. So I'm going to just click on it. And notice it put a little check marks next to it. And then down here it says 1 item selected. Sometimes I accidentally select more than one, and now it says 2 items selected, and I know to go back and figure out where to unselect one. So I'm going to say insert, and it'll insert it into the page. Now this is way bigger. That really does look like Galveston. This is way bigger than I want it to be. I don't want a picture this big. So when you resize images, be careful to drag from the corners. If I drag here like that, now suddenly it's a really tall, skinny house, and I don't want that. By the way, on your keyboard, Control-Z automatically undoes what you just did. So if you make a mistake, you can always do Control-Z and undo it. I'm going to grab here at the corner and make that smaller. That's better. All right, next thing, I want to text wrap. Text wrap means that I don't have this big giant white space here, that my text will flow neatly around this image. So I can do this a couple of different ways, but I'm going to click on the picture, And notice right up here when I clicked on the picture, I got a whole nother set of tools. Let me click off of it so you can see that again. So it's not there, but when I click on the picture, I get picture tools and format. So here's one place where I can access the text wrap feature. The other way I can do it is I can right click on my picture and choose text wrap. Here I want a square text wrap, just like that. And there it goes. The next thing I want to do is I want to add a caption. So I'm going to right click on my photograph, and one of my choices is insert caption. This is also going to make this more accessible to users who might be using a screen reader, so that they know what this is a picture of. So Galveston Beach home. And I'm going to say okay, and it'll insert it below it. One last thing I want to show you how to do is to add a heading to the top of this document. I'm going to go ahead and I want to create a running header that's going to show up on all my pages. So if I double click in this upper hand part of my page, you'll notice that header popped up. If you're using the Microsoft 365, the online version of Word, this operates a little bit different. It won't usually pop up when you double click on it like that. So here, let's just title this document Living in Galveston. And again, I want this to be a header text, so I'm going to highlight it and go back to my Home tab and select Title. I also want to center space this. Don't tab it to the center, don't use the space bar. Use these justification tools that are right here under your Home tab also, and I'm going to choose it to be center. Next, let me show you how to add some numbers in here. Let's say there are 3 benefits of living in Galveston. Let's go ahead and add a subheading here. So here, instead of, I could type a number 1 and it will automatically add the number heading for me. The other way I can do that, I might choose to do bullet points instead. One of the advantages of using bullet points instead of numbers is sometimes when people see numbers, they think it's a ranking. Like this is the first reason and this is the last reason, not as good. Bullets don't imply an order, it just sets the information apart. So again, to do the bullets, up here under the Home tab, I can click the bullet. If I click that little expansion arrow next to it, it gives me some other options as far as what my bullets might look like. So I can choose the one that's appropriate for me. Reason 1. Oh, and every time I hit the enter button, it gives me another bullet. Let's say I don't want a 4th bullet here. All you have to do is just hit the backspace key a couple times and away it goes. So I hope that's a helpful introduction for you on word styles.